This is the day that the Lord has made, and I'll rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
As a retired teacher, administrator in Chicago Public Schools for 35 years, I find the recent endorsement of Melissa Kanya Irvin as an insult. And it's her endorsement is really an insult. Somebody who would endorse somebody over Congressman Danny K for all that he has done for all of us. It is I'm deeply disappointed in my union. It's also insulting, and it's very, very bad at this time. I do not agree, and most of the teachers do not agree with the decision that was made. Do we?
No.
No. Congressman Davis has been and still is a strong advocate for education workers' rights throughout his entire career. He has consistently stood up and supported us in everything that he has done. He stands up for the teachers, the paraprofessionals, the clerks, the custodial workers, and the total school community, and also, most of all, the students. He does not talk about supporting us. He does what he has to do by getting the bills passed in Washington to serve us better. The congressional district is much better off with Congressman Danny K. Davis. Therefore, we must re-elect him, right?
Yes.
Yes. What our Congress has done and is still doing for us. And the decision for our union to overlook all that he has done for us and is still doing us is very disheartening. He is a strong supporter for all of us, and it's very sad. And it sends a real bad message to our union, one that I've been a part of for many, many years. While I respect Melissa Kanya's Irvin, I will not support you at this time. This is not your season, maybe at a later time. I believe that Congressman Davis' experience and his proven track record speaks for itself. And he is the stronger one of all of the people that are running in the 7th Congressional District. You know, it is very disheartening to see political calculations overshadowing the interests of our educators, the school community, and all of those who we are responsible for educating, which are our children and the communities in which we serve. Congressman Davis also is a teacher, a role model for all of us to emulate. And he is doing, and will continue to do if we re-elect him as our next congressman of the 7th Congressional District. Congressman David, so that he can continue to do the work that he has already started for us. Take a look at some of the following. Just take a look around you at the federal funding that he has brought in for Title I education funding, which benefits all of our children. He received those children who are living in poverty, receiving monthly support, those that are in foster care, those that are delinquent, and at one point, the district received about $1 billion in federal Title I money. And that money and much more and extra money that he brings in, it was additional funding for the schools and to support all of our children, especially those that are at risk. He also supports the colleges and universities in the 7th Congressional District. He received over $1 billion in about 721 grants that was given out for education. So therefore, I can't see why the union is bashing up on him. COVID stabilization, research, technology, the TRIO programs, The students were made, all this stuff was made possible through education for our students by the help of our Congressman Davis. Some other educational programs include those at Malcolm X, Loyola, University of Illinois at Chicago, DePaul, Chicago State, South Suburban Colleges, and many, many other. National Lewis College was one too, and many, many more across the country. He reintroduced computers and the internet to ensure that students would access the internet and computers and be of better use for them. He holds town hall meetings regularly to keep us abreast on what is going on. And he also talked about the new aviation and space program that he is helping to get in place to help train our children and other youth to become black pilots, white pilots, whatever you want to call it, whomever he wishes. He has over 20 task force committees right in his office. And if there's ever anything that you need, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call the office. There is somebody there that's willing and can assist you. He is still working to make the child tax credit permanent so that families can receive the money that they need for food, clothing, and housing, and much more. The 7th District is currently receiving about $84 million for about 65 health care sites. As Ways and Means Committee Chairperson, he supports a program for the at-risk women also. He's all over the place, and whatever you need, this man has it. He's a gentle giant. He also has a reentry program for the incarcerated. And every year, he takes a bus or two to prisons with families and children so that they may see and visit with their loved ones. He talked about the broadband assets, growing jobs, lowering prescription drugs. These are some of the things that he's doing right now. Supporting research for sickle cell anemia and others. Infrastructure for families. All of those things benefit families. He has the sponsor of the Second Chance Act. FEMA, all of you who had homes flooded, basements and whatever, how many of you received a check? That was made possible by Congressman Davis getting the ear of the president. He has a strong, compatible, capable staff right here in his office. They're untiring workers, no matter what the circumstances may be, no matter whether they're sick or what. This office is always open, sometimes 7 days a week. If there's nobody in here but him, you call and he is answering the phone. We can do it. Yes, we can. And we really want Congressman Danny K. Davis reelected. You know, we need the expertise and the knowledge that he brings. And his track record, you know, says it all. And I'm going to try and summarize him using the letters of his name about what I just talked about. Congressman Danny Davis, he is consistent. He's not wishy-washy. He's committed, and he's courageous and caring. O, he's organized. He provides opportunities for all of us to grow. And nothing is wrong with his mind. That man remembers things when he was 5 and 6 years old. Some things most of us have already forgotten. And he's always thinking about how he can help us in the 7th Congressional District. G, he's generous with his time, finances, and everything. He's graceful, and he's a real godly gentleman. R, he's respectable, resourceful, and realistic. E, he has been endorsed by many mayors, teachers, administrators, educators, people like us, housewives, clergymen, business people, working class people, veterans, unions, organizations, and other institutions support Congressman Danny Davis. He is sincere about his role as congressman, and he proves it every day. And his record backs it up. If you look on the wall, there's some things he's done. If you take your phone and go on the internet and Google, you can see some of the things he's done. As he has seniority in Congress, and he is service orientators. He serves us. He's not looking for us to serve him. He serves us, the people. He ranks 24th in the over 400 members that are in Congress. And that says something for Congressman Davis. Money. He's brought millions and billions of dollars to the 7th Congressional District and to the state of Illinois. He helps to make things happen. He don't wait for things to happen. He makes things happen. He don't want anybody left behind. No one on his agenda will be left behind. He is admirable, and he will continue to serve us when he is reelected. He never forgets where he came from, where he's going, and his agenda for the 7th Congressional District, okay? He is a man of dignity, he's dutiful, and he is dedicated. You know, he is an advocate for education, educators, the total school community, healthcare, businesses, children, reentry programs, many, many others. And he never forget about his own neighborhoods, his roots. Name. What's in a name? Who am I talking about?
Danny Davis.
Who?
Danny Davis.
I didn't hear you.
Danny Davis.
Congressman Danny Davis. That's what's in a name. Congressman Davis, the why? He yearns to know more about each and every one of us. The more he knows about us and what our issues are, he can take care of the problem and better serve us. K, he's knowledgeable, and he's known as the king of speech. Listen to him. And he's also kind. D, he's a doer. He keeps his promises by delivering what he said he is going to do. Funding for schools, colleges, businesses, and other institutions, and whatever the issues may be. A, his accomplishments are so many, I cannot go through everything right here. But if you Google, internet, you'll find out. No, all you have to do is just look around, look at yourself. What has he done for you? Okay? V, he is an advocate for the voting rights. He's a nonviolent man, and he is a visionary. Those people without a vision, they perish. And he has a bright vision for the 7th Congressional District, and he betrays it. I, he has integrity, intellectuals, intelligent man. He's informed, and he's involved at the city, district, state, federal levels of government, and even throughout this country, he is involved. Congressman Danny Davis is a sincere servant for all of the people of the 7th Congressional District, and it's up to us to get out there and knock on doors, pass flyers, emails, texts, so that we can re-elect Congressman Danny K. Davis, okay? So that he can continue with the work that he has started. And as education chairperson of the 7th Congressional District, he takes the time to listen to what we have to say to him and what you have to say to him when you go into his office. He has sponsored art competitions. He has honored educators with a sit-down luncheon at Rush Presbyterian many years ago. He had honored teachers, paraprofessionals, business people. He let you know that he appreciates all of us, the educators, the teachers, and what have you. He sponsors Christmas dinners for the seniors. He also sponsors toys and clothes giveaway for the children. And he also sponsors back-to-school parades. And he does everything within his power to satisfy the needs of all of us in the 7th Congressional District. So it is up to us to do what? Re-elect
Danny Davis.
Re-elect Davis.
Davis.
Re-elect.
Danny Davis.
Thank you very, very much.
Well, I guess I'm supposed to respond a little bit to some of that. But let me say this. I no wonder you was such a great teacher and administrator in the Chicago public schools when you was working. And you continue to work. I mean, you are obviously a walking encyclopedia. Some of the things that you mentioned, I may not have remembered them even myself. And how you know all of that, it really means that you've been involved with every bit of it. And I want to thank you and other retirees for expressing your concern in terms of our unions, because I was also a member of that union during the 6 years when I was a Chicago public school teacher. And of course, I've taught everything from kindergarten to graduate school. And I've given commencements at probably every high school in our area, many colleges and universities, prestigious ones. I've got about 8 or 9 honorary doctorate degrees. Many of them came from my work in education. I've been an education advocate since I was 19 years old when I took student teaching and graduated from college and did student teaching at the Scipio A. Jones High School in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And so I've been involved. So I must admit that I was a little concerned as to how my professional colleagues had escaped or missed all the work that I have done, but all the work that I do related to education. There's something in existence called PBIs. Those are predominantly black institutions. And those institutions were not able to get the same kind of grants that historically black institutions get, but they're the same kind of students. So we created and nourished something. There's about 100 of these schools in America called PBIs, predominantly black institutions. And what it means is that these schools have 40% at least black enrollment and 40% low income enrollment. And some of them in Chicago are Chicago State University, Malcolm X University, Kennedy King College, Olive Harvey College, South Suburban College. All of them qualify. We did have some others, East-West University, one time Robert Morris College. All of them qualified as predominantly black institutions. Also, they probably don't know that I've got 3 of the most informed education staffers in America in my office. A woman named Sharita Logan, who's sitting back there. She's our local education person. Yeah, right there. Tiama Romero, who's our chief of staff. And actually, Tiama was with me when we reached the agreement on PBIs. Dr. Wayne Watson was there, who then was either the president of Chicago State or he was the chancellor of the city colleges. And the other person there was a fellow named Buddy Blakely, who was the education staff person for Senator Ted Kennedy. And we were able to hammer out an agreement. And the other education staffer is a woman named Dr. Jill Hunter Williams in our office in Washington, D.C., who's our deputy chief of staff. So I guess the union didn't know about none of that stuff. The union didn't know that we've been advocating for public education, but not just advocating, but for helping make it happen a long time. I was a part of the very first alternative school in Chicago. I used to sit on the board of the Christian Action Ministry Academy. We called it CAM Academy. It was the first alternative school when it was discovered that some of our institutions were not meeting the needs of children, and there were children who needed extra help. Then we established one over at the Better Boys Foundation on Pulaski Road with Joseph Rosen, who was the superintendent of District 10. So my days as an education activist go back to Mont Fletcher, Ida Mae Mont Fletcher, when we started the process of serious community involvement in education, where we said that parents and members of the community had a right to be engaged in making policy for education. I was a big proponent of the notion that there ought to be residents elected to the school board in Chicago. I was a part of establishing the whole business of LSCs and so forth when the Honorable Harold Washington was mayor.
Yes.
And so I don't remember any of my colleagues who were running for this office even coming close or near or anywhere in a long distance with my experiences and advocacy for public education. So I thank you, Dr. Hurt, and all of your peers for knowing about these things and for advocating and for letting younger teachers and individuals, I guess, who made the decision that know that I've been a champion for education since I was 19 years old. Thank you. Every kind of education. Thank all of you for being with us and for standing. And I'm certain that the people are the ones who ultimately make all of the endorsements, and they will make their endorsement on Tuesday if they have not already made their endorsement. And they will punch 12 for Danny K. So thank you all very much. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you so much. Right on. Paid for by Davis for Congress.